The name of our exercise, the tool we are going to practice and learn today, is called the knife of the mind and the power of imagination. So we were giving two very powerful abilities as human beings. One is the consciousness and the ability to imagine. Yes, the imagination. And we are given this ability from a very young age. We see little children have this power of imagination. The imagination is something that can take us above the earthly world. I can be here in this room, by myself, and even if I'm not with you in the Zoom, even when I'm alone, I can imagine. And my imagination can take me to another country, to another region that I've never seen in the earthly realm, to another experience, to something I never experienced in the real life, and so and so. To something I want, to something I wish, to something creative. The imagination, the power of imagination is a very strong spiritual ability that we as human beings received. On the other hand, we have the intellect. This is many times something that is closing us, that is actually making it hard for us to see. Many times our earthly senses block us from seeing something more. Our intellect is very much connected to these senses, to what I see in my physical eyes, to what I hear in my physical ears, and so on. And this can many times block me from seeing something higher. In the spiritual path, many times we need to close our earthly senses in order to develop spiritual organs and spiritual senses. So many times we want to get to the imagination, to get to this higher ability. But sometimes we do need the intellect. Sometimes our imagination can also be a tool for the counter forces to enter. And when is that? It's when our imagination is used in order to frighten us, in order to remind us again and again of a traumatic experience, when we experience it time after time and we can't release from it. Or when we imagine all kinds of frightening things that will happen in the future, although they didn't happen yet. So our imagination can be a wonderful tool when we use it in order to lead us to higher worlds of consciousness. And when it leads us to be able to imagine something that might be in the future, even if now I am in a low place. But it can be also, as I said, a tool for the counter forces to put us down, to take away our confidence, to take away our faith, to fill our heart with fear and with anxiety. And then something very interesting that Baal HaSulam says. He said, our intellect is like a knife. We can use it like a knife. It can be very sharp. And he thought, when is it needed? And he thought about the surgeons in the hospital when they do surgery. So they use the knife, right? In order to cut a tumor, for instance, to cut something that needs to be taken out. And he said that when I find myself attacked by the bad imagination, not the good imagination, but the bad imagination, the imagination of the counter forces, then I should use the knife of the intellect, this knife of the mind. I should use it to cut sharp something where I find myself again blaming myself about something that happened years ago and wasn't under my control, for instance. In that place, he says, take the knife of the mind and cut it, because our imagination has a tendency to grow and to grow. And sometimes we can, oh, and I think about that, or when I find myself anxious, full of anxiety, imagining that what is going to happen now, in that place, he says, no, this didn't happen yet. It's just your imagination. The counter forces are now using your imaginations in order to attack you and weaken you. In that case, cut it with the knife of the mind.